Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on Atlanta News First Investigates First Alert Desk here. I'm Anastasia Olmos. You are joining us today as we're going to talk about a very important subject. The FBI here in Atlanta has put out a warning for people who are searching online and may have their identities, their logins taken by people who are going after cookies. They're calling them cookie thieves. So right now I am joined by the Supervisor Special Agent Joe Zadik. He is here to talk about what's happening. There's been an increase, right, Joe?
That's correct. Thank you for having me today. So we're talking about the Remember Me cookie is what we're focusing on today. So that's a cookie that is used to store username and passwords when you're making a login session on a website.
Okay, so let's backtrack here. For anybody that's watching and they just go on their phone, they go to a website, they go online on the computer, they're searching around. I've been seeing a lot of websites kind of pop up that, this site tracks cookies, reject all, only necessary. At that point, what does that even mean?
So a cookie is a small piece of data that a website puts on your web browser to track user preferences, such as your shopping carts or your login, like username and password, for example. So when you see that accept all cookies, there could be a variety of different cookies that are used for tracking, but we're looking at the Remember Me cookie, which is specific to your login information.
Okay, and so do you have to click that somewhere in order for this to be a threat to you?
So when you go to log into a web page and it pops up and you see, you enter in your username and password, there will be a checkbox that says Remember Me. If you check that checkbox, you have a cookie that then is stored on your computer, and that cookie basically is good for up to about 30 days, and that stores your session information. So to the website, that cookie is you. When you go to log in and they're looking at Joe, that is how you're identified to the website.
Okay, and who's watching to possibly get this information?
So the challenge is that with this cookie, someone can be you. So you run into situations where there could be a phishing attack or a malware attack, someone who can get physical access to your computer and take that cookie. And when they take that cookie, they can use it on their computer, and then when they use it towards the website, it appears to be you. So they have whatever access you had to that website, they now have that access.
Does that include a saved credit card if you were shopping?
So it can include any information, yeah. So if you have a financial institution and you have that logged in, for example, if they steal that session cookie and they use it, it will appear you as you logged into your account.
And what are you guys seeing? Are people doing this within the United States, or is this worldwide? I know you said you've seen an uptick.
So we've seen a lot of use with this through criminal syndicates. So what they'll do is you'll get phishing emails to you, which when you click on, malware is installed on your computer, and then that can pull that cookie information from you. It can pull it from your computer, and then that can be used. The other thing that can happen is there's different types of malware that can be installed just indiscriminately. So they can, just through passing, they can be installed, and that info stealer malware will steal pretty much everything, including your cookies, your history, basically your web browser information.
Oh my gosh, and this is becoming more prevalent. More people want this information.
Yes, more people want it primarily to masquerade as you. The way it can be used is through your financial accounts, your email accounts, but your corporate accounts as well. So if you're doing work from home and you log into your corporate instance, someone could steal that session cookie and then in a way work to be you.
You mentioned Georgia, specifically Atlanta. Is this happening all over, or is this specific to our area?
It's happening all over. Yeah, it's happening to pretty much anyone. If you have people routinely receive phishing emails, so you just have to look out for that. The important thing to think about when you have these cookies is if you have the Remember Me cookie enabled, that's where a lot of your personal information is stored.
Okay, so back to the basics here for people watching. What should they do if they are surfing the internet, either on a computer or their phone, and see, a login say "Remember Me" or a pop-up saying "We track cookies"? What are these, steps that they need to take?
So you need to make just a calculated risk on what you want to do. So you have a variety of cookies on your system. You can see allow all or accept certain cookies, reject. So that's kind of up to you. Some of those are tracking cookies. The cookie that we're speaking about is a session cookie. So that is when you enter in your username and password, it goes on your system. So if you click the Remember Me, that session stays active. If you don't say Remember Me, it's not. So the challenge with that is that you will have to enter in your username and password every time you want to access that site or you switch pages, but the benefit is that it's more secure.
Yeah, that's definitely something I do on my personal Apple devices is I just click remember me because I think I'm the only one accessing that computer and I'm lazy. But you're saying even if it's your own device, you know no one else is using it, don't click it.
Yes, there can also be other consequences. If you're not the only user of that machine, someone else could inadvertently have it on your machine when it comes up. They could access that website as well. But yeah, it's a general thing to think about. Just it's a calculated risk, but deciding if you want to click on it, understanding what happens with that is that now someone can masquerade as you with that cookie.
Jeez, okay. And the other thing for people at home who kind of understand the interworkings of how this happens on the internet, what are the consequences? Is the FBI even able to track these people who are doing this?
So there are a lot of criminal marketplaces where this information is available. So there are ways to track it, ways to understand what's happening. But I think what's most important is to understand that this is a new way that cyber criminals are looking to attack you, whether you are an individual or whether it's an individual account or if it is a corporate account. They're looking to get it that way because if they can get that cookie and they can put it in their browser and replicate you, then they have the access you have. And it's also independent to the browser. So you could have other web browsers where it's not just the one, it could be across all your browsers.
Okay. Any other advice that you may have for people? I know that some people say to do a certain search engine website when you're shopping or looking at information. Is there a way on your phone that you can protect yourself? Anything like that?
So I think a couple things you should think about related to this is your cookies. So you can routinely clear your cookies and clear your cache, and that would reset that. You can maintain your username and password by changing that at a reasonable time. But also, on a lot of these websites, you can go in and look to see frequent devices, what's frequently accessed that account. And if you see something that's suspicious, then that's some time that you should just clear it out, clear your cookies, reset your password if you're concerned at that level.
Wow, so many things to keep in mind. So definitely if you're listening to us, watching us right now, those are 3 things you can do right now. Go and clear your cookies. I know it's kind of a weird term, and we call them cookie thieves, but this is very serious. People are becoming victims to these people targeting online, especially as we get into the holiday season. More people will be shopping and putting their credit cards in, maybe creating a login so that you can get 20% off. So definitely keep these things in mind, and we appreciate you listening to us here on our podcast at Atlanta News First Investigates or on our YouTube channel. You can continue to stream us on YouTube or listen anywhere you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere on Amazon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.